favorite scary movie.
We have such sights to show you.
Monsters!
All you have left is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
Oh, no tears, please. It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice community. Business.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
He's alive! He's alive!
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.
Welcome to the Fright Flick FMK Podcast, a horror movie podcast where we dive into the sickest, strangest, and most extreme horror films out there. I'm your host, Jay, and every week I pour my whiskey, I light my smoke, and I take y'all on an elevated, unfiltered ride from cult classics to underground nightmares. No movie is safe and nothing is off limits. Whiskey's poured, smoke is in the air, and when it's all said and done, family, we answer the only question that really matters. Would we rather fuck it, marry it, or kill it? This is the Fright Flick FMK Podcast. Family, we got us a special episode this week. As you can see, if you're watching on the YouTube, which you all should be, and if not, if you're listening, you're missing out. But we got some guests this week. We got a returning guest, one of the original members of the Fright Flick table, the very first guest on the show. J.R. Stokes is back for another episode. J.R. is back, and we are also gathered here. Peter, you gonna say your last name for me, brother? I will.
It's Konsevitch.
Peter Konsevitch.
Close.
Did I say that wrong?
It's Konsevitch. So Konsevitch. It's Russian.
Konsevitch.
Mm-hmm.
Konsevitch.
Yep. Back in elementary school, that's what they called me.
Got it. Hey, but listen, family, you know, around here, normally we like the horror movies and we like to do stuff like that. This week's a little different. This week, JR's back on here. JR just released his newest movie. He came on here when we talked about the Headstone of Solitude. We've had that episode. Then he came on here and we talked about his movie Edge X, which is 2024, right?
Yes.
Peter was also in that.
Yes, I was.
Hell yeah. Now we got Beautiful Pam, brand spanking new. This one's right. This is new. Hey, this one, family, is not horror. This is not horror. So this and some of you are like, this might be a horror movie podcast. Hey, listen, JR is part of the fucking family, people. And second thing, this is my fucking show. I can do what the fuck I want. So I don't answer to nobody. That's the beauty of this. I answer to nobody. But you know, JR's part of the family, and so throughout this, since he's came on, we stayed in contact. I always tell him, I was like, hey man, as anytime you got a seat at the table, anytime you got anything coming up, anything new. And so we did that with Edge X. As soon as Beautiful Pam come out, JR hits me up. I get that shit early. I got the shit early, you know? And so as soon as I got to see it and we started hitting each other up and talk about coming back on the show, I'm like, hell yeah, you got to come back on the show. So this is not going to be horror movie type thing. This is a little different. But I love the fact on this show that we support independent films, independent filmmakers, actors, actresses, all that shit. We fucking love it here, family. And anytime I can give somebody a way to come on here and promote what they do or what y'all do, I like to do that because I can't do what you guys do. I can't do it. And so anytime I get to come on here and hang out and do this is fucking fun for me. So I appreciate the hell out of what y'all do and what you do, JR. And what you're right now, brother, I want to let you take the floor. I want you to take the floor. What you been doing, Peter? Same thing. Let the family know. The family knows JR a little bit. Peter's new to the family. His first time at the table.
Yeah, it's first time at the table for Pete. Well, first we want to thank you so much for having us, Jay. It's truly
Absolutely.
incredible being back here, and it's an honor to be a part of the Fright Flick family and to be at the table. And for anyone listening, even if you're really into horror movies and this isn't a horror movie, come support our film. We made this movie for little to no money, and it's a movie that might resonate. So, but yeah, we've been working really hard on getting Pam out there. Beautiful Pam's a story, and it's a story about parenthood and family and identity and all these different things wrapped in one, right? And it's been a fun time, man. The past couple months, we've been going to festivals, trying to do screenings here and there, just trying to get people in all different kinds of places to see the movie, So,
And
yeah.
like I said earlier, maybe I didn't say. I don't remember if I said the shit or not. But right now, you can stream it for free on YouTube. That's what fucking people. I know you bunch of cheap people out there like I am. Y'all cheap. Y'all like fucking free, man. You can go to YouTube right now. Watch it for free. It's not fucking hard, people. Damn. And hey, this damn thing, people listen, not an hour long. What is it? 63 minutes?
Yeah, 63 minutes. Yeah.
Holy shit, man. And hey, I will say this. Y'all pack a fucking punch in 1 hour.
Thank you.
Yeah. My bad. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. And today we're also joined by Peter Konsevitch, who plays Beetle in Beautiful Pam.
Hello. Yes, I do.
Beetle.
Yeah.
Hey, Beetle was a handful.
He was, man. He I wanted to make sure he was well, it's like a hard thing, I guess, to I'll reframe this. Let me reboot, restart. I wanted to make sure he was not just completely evil. I wanted him to have some charisma, so I wanted to give him that perfect teetering back and forth that as you said, he's a bundle of energy. He's a lot, and it was certainly a great time. I think where JR's writing comes in and the depth of Beetle, where I kind of got, I guess, the inspiration for maybe the playful nature of Beetle or the humorous nature of Beetle. I have a cousin, whose name will be redacted right now. I'm not going to say his name, but I have a cousin, an older cousin, much older than myself, that I grew up watching, and he's very much so that type of guy. You don't know what the fuck he's talking about when he's talking about something to you.
Yeah.
And very, very loud, very, very brave, especially when it comes to being in public, so others can hear him. So I wanted to make sure. I want to make sure people felt that pandemonium.
Mm-hmm. He was and like I said, this movie is I had no clue what it was when I pushed play. I didn't really because I don't like trailers. I don't like watching trailers. I just like to experience that first time. So I know you
Sure.
had released the trailers and I didn't watch any of them. And so all I know is what the cover
Yeah.
of a car,
Mm.
Beautiful Pam, and some cool, gave me this little 80-ish, 90-ish vibe throwback feel to it, and that's all I knew going into it. And so and I want you to kind of give us a little bit, the little, I guess, the little plot behind the story and stuff like that. We're gonna spoil the shit out of stuff on here, family. You all know this. I'll spoil the shit out of it. So if you ain't seen it, get your ass over to YouTube,
Yeah.
watch it, and then come back and listen. But right now, we about to spoil the shit out of stuff, so get ready.
Well, Beautiful Pam follows a queer sex worker named Pam as she's going through this sort of midlife crisis. And she's living out of motels and she's battling addiction and all these sorts of things are going on. And for me, right, in relation to the film and what we see on screen, at the core of the film, it's a story about isolation, right? It's a story about finding out how to be a person and navigating how to be a person. And that looks different for everybody, and something that we've said is even if you can't directly relate to Pam's lifestyle, you could still relate to who Pam is as a person, right? And what they want to feel and what they want to navigate. And that's something that I think we need to see more of, and that's something that's always interesting to explore on screen is how can I learn as a filmmaker? How can I learn and explore different people, right? Different lifestyles, what people are doing, you know? And in my first film, Edge X, that was exploring adolescent substance abuse, right? So that was a much different film, but sort of in a similar vein of exploring different kinds of people, you know? And especially in relation to Peter's character, Beetle, that's a character that we worked really closely on developing, and that Peter did such a great job in bringing parts of himself to the role, right? That talk about that charisma and things of that sort. So it was a good time. It really was, and so far people have resonated, and it's we're very grateful for that.
Yeah, one of the questions I had when
Yeah,
as I started watching it, I kinda picked up on the, right from the get-go, was it meant to be, or was Pam supposed to be liked? Like, when people sit down and watch the movie,
yeah,
and because there's a part of me, like, I'm that type when as soon as I push play and I started, I see Pam, and
yeah,
then once a little more started kind of figuring out, okay, and Pam, and we get to see Pam
yeah.
with, like, his ex-wife,
Mhm.
and then I'm kinda like, okay, Pam comes across as kinda selfish to me in the beginning. I just felt like he seemed selfish, and I'm like, I wasn't
Sure,
digging him,
sure.
um, but, is it Pam seemed like to me like Pam didn't get it. Maybe he didn't understand like, his wife, like, maybe because, there were a couple times where he would be talking to her, and it's like he's wanting her, and he thinks, like, she don't accept him or her. Like, he's caught up I feel like he gets caught up in the
Mm,
weeds in that,
sure.
because there's a part where she's like, you know, that's not her problem. When she asked him, she was like, "Is this what you're kind of like is this what you envisioned when you left us? Kind of like, was this your end goal? Was this like to be a, drugged out guy living in a motel, paid by the week type thing,
Sure.
you know?" And that was kind of like where she, and I came across, and in the beginning I was just like, I don't know, man. I didn't, but then it's like I completely shift gears.
Mhm.
Then I feel sorry for Pam. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Well, listen, people, when we watch characters on screen, right, not only are we affected by the choices they make, but we're affected by a lot of things. We're affected by the performance, right? When a character can make you feel something, we can attribute that to a lot of different things. And especially following this story, right? Beautiful Pam, which follows a collective of people who are navigating their way in the world, and are sometimes they make bad choices along the way, sometimes they make good choices along the way. They're figuring things out. And in Pam's case, what she's going through is she's figuring out how to express herself. She's figuring out how to get out there, how to be a person, and whether people whether people resonate or not, that's up to the audience. But the biggest thing for us, right, the people who made the movie is we just want people to understand what they are seeing, right? To
Mhm.
try and understand Pam. And I think at its core, even though Pam she makes mistakes and maybe she says bad things to the people around her, at her core as a character, she just wants to be understood, you know?
Mhm.
She's begging people to understand her, and I think that's okay, and I think as long as people can take that away and can appreciate that,
Yeah.
then that's the goal of the movie right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it also helps people, family. To the family out there who know me, I'm not the smartest cookie in the jar, family. A lot of times when I watch movies, I'll have that moment of just like, I don't like that fucker right there. And
Yeah.
that's about as far as my mind may go in that moment. Maybe I don't dig no deeper.
That's okay.
And
That's alright.
that's the way I watch movies sometimes. And I catch myself, and I go from like one extreme of being like, man, fuck this guy. And then I get to like the part where him and Rose are at the little thrift store,
Yeah,
and he's wanting to buy his son something for his birthday. His son's about to turn 18.
yeah.
And he's standing there, and damn, I felt so sorry. Like, and that I felt so like, I get it.
Mhm.
The dude has, listen, I'll be the first one, family. I'm a very open book type of guy. I will never win an award for Parent of the Year. And I'll just leave it at that. I will never win an award for that. I know that. So when I seen that part where him just wanting to be like trying to get his son something, and then Rose kind of makes a joke with him, and Rose is kind of like seriously, like
Mhm.
he's about to turn 18, you gonna give him a board game, you know? And then it's like, you know, but then it's kind of like I feel sorry for him. And then it's kind of like, do you not know your son? But at the same time, who the fuck am I to judge?
Sure.
You know? And so I'm like, but yeah, it's like I felt so. Man, I felt bad in that part where he was like buying the game, and he buys the game, and he's so fucking happy he got his son something, and then his wife's just like
Mhm.
shits all over his damn board game. But
Yeah.
you know, I will be the first one to tell you I don't watch a whole lot of serious movies.
Sure.
You know, I'm a 99% of the shit I watch is horror type shit and comedy type shit. So I've had to watch Pam. I've already watched it 3 times now. I've watched it 3 times
Thank you very much, Jay.
because I want to be able to pick up on little things.
Mhm.
Like I missed it the first 2 times I seen it, I missed out on the part how much of a fucking asshole Beetle is. Because there's the part where Beetle, they drop Pam off. Pam calls them to come pick her up at the parking lot. They drop her off. Pam's had a fucking shitty night. Some shit has been rough
Yes,
for
she
Pam,
has. Yes, she
you
has.
know, and gets out of the car, and Beetle's little high ass is gonna be like, "Hey, dude, why don't you get back here and suck my dick?" And I'm just like, "What the fuck?" I'm like, "You that's supposed to be like the friend."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "But even the friend is fucking like your own best friend is cracking jokes to you, you know?" And it's just like, yeah, I feel that I swayed many times on fucking Pam.
Mhm. Yeah.
You know, and then I swayed on fucking Beetle because Beetle was fun, but at the same time, I'm like, "Beetle, you a fucking asshole, but damn it,
Yeah.
come sit next to me for a little while and let's talk about it." What does
I
it
think,
take? No, go
oh,
ahead, go
sorry.
ahead, go
Oh,
ahead.
me? Okay. No, Sid and JR, sorry. Sid's his nickname for everybody listening. So it's JR. So JR, and I were talking recently, and I I get it's even as like the actor who throws himself into this role, and I mean, we had so many rehearsals and X amount of shoot days, and I've watched the film so many times, but even as performing and watching it, you notice something new every time. And I think as an audience member, like removing myself from the film at this point now because we already did it and it's done, and now we are just like the audience watching it, on the big screen. And I was watching the basketball scene, um, and I was like, this really is where Beatles shifts because
Yeah.
up to that point, they don't really like he jokes around, he does that shitty thing in the car, he's like, "Why don't you come back in here and give me a blowjob?"
Yeah, that's it,
But,
that's it.
like, other than that, once you get to the football scene, yeah, once you get back to the basketball scene, as soon as he doesn't get what he wants, that
Yeah.
mask goes down, and the basketball toss and getting in Paul's face, that's who, Beetle really is. And, I had a lot of fun watching that because even as myself, I'm like, "Oh," it's, like, funny because I'm thinking, "He must have did that because X, Y, and Z." I'm like, "Oh, wait, that's me. That's exactly why I did that." But also too, there's another side to Beetle that you see, like, in the we're okay to spoil stuff, right, JR?
Hell yeah. Oh, I am. Oh, shit.
Okay.
My bad,
I mean,
JR.
well, the fucking movie's out anyway, it's your fault. But when we're
It's his
sitting,
show. It's his show.
there you go, in the bedroom scene at the end, when Beetle, he's oh, sorry about that, my light. When Beetle's kinda just sitting on the bed doing his drugs, and he's got the nameless girl behind him, and Pam comes into the room, and she's talking to him. And you really see, like, Beetle hadn't started doing drugs that day, I feel like every scene that you see Beetle in, he's high, he's
Yeah.
already done drugs, who knows what he did, he's done something during the day, but, like, now you see who Beetle is without the drugs, and it's like, I feel, you know, when I watch the scene, there's almost a part of me, even though he has done some deplorable actions, there's a part of me that still feels bad for him when I watch the beginning of that scene before he starts mouthing off again, of course. Um, where you see, like, on the topic of drugs, people use that shit to mask and like they become different people and it changes them. And you get to see bits and pieces of why, how Beetle has changed because of drugs. And then boom, shoot up the heroin, and he starts talking his shit again, and it's for me, Beetle, and I always say this anytime I get a chance to talk about this because it's sort of like a love letter, Beetle, to things I didn't like about myself in the past, and things, of course, not the Chomo stuff, but things I didn't like about myself, and I had a difficult time in my earlier 20s with drugs and doing stupid stuff. So it's almost like like looking at a parallel world of how I could have ended up, and I think that's why I will always defend Beetle in a sense where it's like that's my baby, that's my character, and it's my message and therapeutic in a way, and there's the deplorable stuff, but yeah, I think, yeah, Beetle's a sketchy guy, huh?
Let's say let's say that whole part at the end that we were talking about, we're in the bedroom. That part to
Mhm.
me, I was all Team Beetle on when that whole bedroom scene went down on. I felt like he was. I get it. Like that was the first time, like Beetle was like straight up, like kind
Mhm.
of like sober in the brain, like you said. And when he's talking to him, and then he makes the comment to him, what did he say to him? Oh, he was fucking just bluntly honest with Pam, where he makes a comment about like, "Oh, you're here you are playing the victim card again." He was, and maybe at some point I got it. Pam has been going through some shit, but
Yeah.
at the same time, other people around you's going through some shit too.
Yeah.
And every time you come around, you want to play that song, poor, pitiful Pam, and it was like, and finally, it
Mm.
was like, Beetle was sober enough to be like, before he was just masked by all the drugs, and maybe he
Yeah.
wouldn't pick it up on all the shit Pam was saying, but now we got fucking cockle-doodle doo right out of bed, Beetle,
Yeah.
and Beetle's like,
Cock-a-doodle doo.
yeah,
That's great.
Beetle's like, hey, dude, like, stop playing the fucking victim's card. And then it was like super like, and he made the comment to him about buying the gun.
Mm.
And, you know, and then it was like when you got to see that part of Beetle, and Beetle was like, "Oh, what you gonna do? You gonna kill yourself?" You know
Yeah.
how, I've
Yeah.
I've made those types of I've did 20 years in military. We made those types of jokes of like
Yeah.
the suicidal type shit, and so when he does it, and he kind of does it because even I went like, oh shit.
Mhm.
Like I felt like damn it, Beetle. That one was too far, Beetle. Everything else
Yeah.
you've been cool, Beetle.
You went a little too far right there.
you've, been,
100%.
you've been okay up till now, Beetle, but right now you just kind of like and so but I like that because and then when it was all said and done, Beetle sat there and he kind of and you can tell like he wanted to get his fix in because he made the comment like about having to think too much. Like
Right.
like like
Yeah.
no, like this is way too much first thing in the morning. Like
Yeah.
I'm not doing this, and I felt bad for him because, you can tell Beetle had a shitty childhood too, because there's that part where they were in the park, him and Lance,
Yeah.
King Lance.
Yeah. Yeah,
Lance
close
was
enough.
cool as fuck.
That's the crown.
Yeah. He rode around with his crown on. I don't know.
Yeah.
When I first seen Lance, I was like, damn, Beetle, is he hanging out with like a old granddad or something? Dude, like 80?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, shit.
that's great.
But another one, the person you know his name. I don't want to miss the name, but the dude that played Pam.
Yeah. Tom.
Corsiari.
There you go. Yeah, I butchered names. I didn't want to. I didn't want to try that one. I'm already 0 for 1 today already. 0 for 1. I didn't want to go down 0 for 2.
You're 1 for 1 now.
Yeah, but yeah, So fucking good, man.
He's an amazing actor, 100%. And what you brought up earlier, that has a lot to do with the performance of Tom Gibbs when you said, I'm not sure if I should be liking Pam in this moment because we see Pam does sort of express things that when she's talking to other characters, the other characters in the film are like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing for me regarding Pam as a character is people are flawed, right? And these characters that we see in the film are flawed. For me, Pam is not flawed for who she wants to be, right? Pam is not flawed for expressing who she wants to be. Pam is flawed for, like Lauren said, the ex-wife. Pam is flawed for being an addict, right? Pam is flawed for not understanding infidelity and things of that sort. That's where the flaws of the character come in for myself so I think that as far as that last argument scene between Pam and Beetle, that is the most, like you brought up earlier, that is the most honest conversation we see in the film between two characters who are just sick of each other's shit, and they were just being flat out honest with each other, and that's how people are. That's how humans respond to one another, right?
Mhm.
And there's people like to believe there's only one side of an argument that could be valid. However, I think in the case of this final scene where we're seeing two really honest, flawed people going at it with one another, I think there is validity in Pam expressing like, "Hey, I got nothing going for myself, and you're also a fucking loser, so fuck you." And I think there's also validity in Beetle coming back to Pam and being like, "Well, hey, who the fuck are you to judge me?" You know? I think there's validity in two people who have made mistakes as far as being addicts and such, right? And they're going at it. I think there's validity to both sides of that. And I think that's an interesting way to go about the scene, right? And saying like, well, I don't know if this person I'm really into this person right now. And especially when you said Beetle, went a little too far at a couple times during that scene,
Yeah.
100%. Beetle absolutely crossed a line. And I think that was also an interesting point you brought up. 100%.
But I was happy to see.
Mhm.
I felt like, when he finally meets Rose
Mhm.
and, Rose comes up to him at the meeting. I think they were going to like the sex addict meeting. And comes up to him and starts talking to him. And then they're out in the car together. And you can tell that, uh, like Pam didn't, maybe she wasn't used to somebody just wanted to sit there and talk to her and
Exactly.
listen to her
Exactly.
because she was even you could tell the way she was talking to how Pam was talking to Rose, but where Pam was just thinking, "This is just another job." Like,
Mhm.
okay,
100%.
yeah, like, you're just like, "What do you wanna do?" Type thing. And you seen Rose talk to Pam just as a person, like, hey, like, wanting to get to know her and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and so I was like, "Okay, this is gonna be the good part for fucking Pam."
100%.
And it was
Yeah.
because especially when we got to see who the fuck played Rose?
Cadence Meyer. Cade Meyer.
Okay, that's who played Rose, got you.
Yeah.
And, yeah, he was very well, very good too. Very
Yeah,
good.
Cade was definitely a good
Yeah,
actor.
and
It's a great point you bring up, that little 10-minute sequence is the only part of the film where we see Pam, she sort of gets like a real human, genuine
yeah,
connection right there, 100%. And I've always said that I think what Pam sees in Rose is like, well, that could have been me, like Pam sees a younger version of herself in that character, and I think that's where they're able to click. And I think it's great that you were able to respond to that and point that out 100%.
yeah,
And I think then when we see Beetle pop up again, that's sort of the contrast of like, well, this is where Pam is at in her life currently. And
mhm,
of course that sort of leads to the final breakdown scene. Yeah.
yeah, and I liked with Rose, I liked the fact that it was like and even when they had the scene when they went back to I'm assuming it was his place,
Mhm.
or it was I can't remember if it's his or hers, and they were in the bed together, and it was just this, like, you could tell for the first time since, Pam has accepted when that time came, Pam was gonna be Pam, and I felt like for the first time she had that moment where, like, this person here is here because this person wants to be. Rose wanted to be there. Rose wasn't there because she was paid to be there. Rose wanted to spend time with Pam, you know,
Exactly.
and that's where I thought it was going to kind of be a little happy thing to it.
You know my movies, bro. There's no happy endings.
No, it fucking wasn't. Just like the part that you, the one part that really got me was when the old boy was the dude pulled up to his car in the little parking lot. Pam gets in the car, and
Oh, yeah.
this dude, I instantly thought, this is one of these dudes that's having a midlife crisis, and he don't know. He's questioning some things in his life right now.
Sure.
And one of the questions in his life is, maybe he would like to,
Sure.
suck a penis.
Sure.
Maybe he would. And maybe he's trying to test them waters. And so when he pulls up, that's the first thing I'm thinking. I'm like, oh, Pam got her. Pam got a newbie. Pam got somebody like, this is a rookie right now.
Sure.
And so when Pam starts talking to him, and he's got like this, like, you can tell like he's almost embarrassed to be there.
Sure.
And she's talking to him, trying to be like, hey, what is it you like? What are you into type thing. And this dude's kind of like, I just want to talk.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, maybe once again, this is a moment for Pam right now.
Yeah.
Maybe here we go. This dude just wants to talk, Pam. Pam, here we go. Things are looking up right now, Pam. Things are looking up for us.
Yeah.
Fuck no, not in JR's movie. No.
What happens in the next part, Jay? Tell the audience what happens.
This mug. Hey, I told you, we're going to spoil the shit out of this mug on here. Especially when I got the man himself sitting here, Hey, when that dude, when he's like, could you hold my hand? I was like, man, I am, okay, here we go. Good moment for Pam. And then this motherfucker going to be like, I'm kind of ashamed being here right now. Like, he was saying it in a way like he felt embarrassed and ashamed to be there. And I just assumed he's embarrassed to be there because he left his wife of 20 years and 6 kids at the house. And he's out there right now slumming it, and this dude's saying, like, I just feel really embarrassed about being here. And he's like, about 2 hours ago, I just killed a 14-year-old. I was like, what? No lead up, no preparation, no nothing. Just out of the fucking blue.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know what to say. I'm just sitting there and I'm talking. I'm like, holy shit. Like, and I'm going like, run, Pam. Especially when he explains it to her.
Yeah.
Like, basically, like, I was going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe because she was so nice and understanding.
Yeah.
That's what's maybe like her niceness is what saved her life.
I agree.
Because she got in there and been like, all right, what do you want? $25. What do you want?
Yeah.
And just been that way with him. He probably would have fucking killed her too.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
An interesting thing about that scene, and Peter can elaborate afterwards as far as his own processes for Beetle. When I talked to Jason, who plays, the John in that scene, the customer, he brought up this amazing perspective. We talked about that scene over dinner recently, and he said, when I was acting that scene, I wasn't thinking about, like, what's ahead. Like, I wasn't thinking about, oh, I'm gonna say this. I'm ready to kill you, Pam. He wasn't thinking that. The actor Jason was thinking, well, I'm thinking about the past. I'm thinking about the kid I just killed while talking to Pam. And I was like, wow. Because as a director, I'm not thinking about the past, right? I know what's on the page, but I'm thinking, how do we move the scene along? How do we get from point A to point B? How can I show the audience what's coming ahead, right? Because the audience can't see what happened before. The audience doesn't see the kid. So that's how I'm thinking. And then when he shares this perspective, I'm like, well, I guess I never thought about it that way. I guess I never thought that this person would be thinking not about what's ahead, but what's behind them, and especially for a character like Beetle navigating that way. I think Peter can talk a little bit about, like, we had so many conversations about the trajectory of a character like Beetle, right? Because there's so many bit parts in the film, but Beetle's the one character that we see reoccur more and more and more. He just reappears more and more and more. And I think we had a lot of serious conversations about, well, number one, how do we conclude this character arc? But also, how do we begin it? How do we show Beetle not as this sort of comical presence, but as a person with legit understanding, legit perspectives on the things that are going on around him? And how do we show that in a way that's engaging for a character like Pam to interact with?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They they definitely it was funny because for me, they didn't, like,
Mhm.
match together. To me, they didn't. It was just kinda like one of those, like, odd friendships that just
Yeah.
is there, you know? And that's why it was so when the shit finally popped off at the end and got blew up at the end when they finally got mad at each other, I was like, but they had because I felt like, you know, they have both, I guess, have been there for each other through other stuff because there's a part where Beetle's talking to him about, and he's talking to Beetle about, hey, when you were out in the streets and stuff like that. So they've been there through their worst of times. They've seen each other through it, through the worst of times. Um, so uh did you plan on it just being a fucking sad ending like that, man? It was that like the letter, man, the letter was fucking like, and I was like, as soon as I seen the letter part, and I was like, dude, but then you still kind of leave me with did he or didn't he type thing. And I fucking love that when a movie lets me kind of do my own thing with it. I like it when I get a movie like that sometime where it kind of lets me, I could have four different endings if I want to. Depends on how much I smoked that day, but it could be whatever type ending, you know?
Yeah,
And
well, originally, Pam was gonna kill Beetle. Like, that was the end of that scene originally was, Beetle was gonna shoot up, and Pam was just gonna smother Beetle with a pillow, and we were gonna watch Beetle overdose, and that was gonna be Pam's fault. And then we would have had the rest of the film end the same way it did in the current film is, Pam goes to the beach and, we see her at the beach,
yep,
and
she's enjoying it at the beach. That's what Pam.
yeah.
And
Someone said to me, someone, and P, you can take the mic after this, but someone said to me, oh, I watched the end of the movie and I was thinking, where does she go after? Does she go get a sandwich or something? I'm like, lady, did you watch the same movie I watched? Because I don't think Pam's going to get a sandwich after that.
no. Yeah, but I like the way that the way it ended. Everybody in this movie was just so good at
Right.
what they were there to do as far as like how they were supposed to play. Like the wife, man, the wife was this wife loved this old boy. She loved fucking Pam,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
know.
yeah.
And you can tell because you could tell it tore her up
Yeah.
when she would have to talk to him. She got upset every time, and it was like, I felt like she just felt bad for him, like you said earlier. The drug addict side of it, the fact that that part now controls pretty much his life now, and you can tell that like bothers her a lot.
Yeah.
But then Pam, once again, didn't do a whole lot to help herself. To be honest here, there were times where Pam would be like, but the night Pam showed up at her fucking house, knocking on the damn sliding door in the middle of the night, and I'm just like, "What are you doing, Pam? Like,
Yeah.
you were trying to make things
Mhm.
good, but then you go off and do some shit like this, Pam. Come on."
Yeah.
But
Uh,
then the one big twist to the thing we hadn't even talked about.
yeah.
And maybe we're not going to talk about the one big twist to the whole big thing. We're not going to talk about it. That's the one
Uh,
thing I'm not going to spoil.
Pete, did you want to talk about the original?
Yeah, so going back real quick to, like, the process thing, for me, it's always been a thing of, like, and I don't know if this is gonna sound like really like I mean, I like my smoke and I like mushrooms, so I've always had this thing like studying characters. I'll have some shroom gummies or I'll smoke and I'll let the gears spin in my head. And I've always had this thing where I feel I'm not schizophrenic, I promise, but I've always had this thing where I'm getting into character, I feel gears spinning in my head. And as soon as I feel the notion of who I am leave my body, that's when I'm like, "Okay, I'm ready for cameras to start rolling the ladder," or I'm ready to get up on the stage because I do theater too, of course, as well. Um, But yeah, and I think that's a very important thing to kinda, especially with a character like Beetle, to kinda sorta have that ego death because, obviously Beetle has a voice. I perform with a different voice that is much different, of course, than my own. But it's so easy if I just got in front of the camera and started talking like Beetle to sound like a clown, to sound like it wouldn't sound natural. I wanted to really make sure too, like in that whole process, that it sounded as natural as possible. And it's funny because every time we watch this film and we're whether it's like just us chatting it up, like watching the film, or like if I'm watching it at the festivals, the first scene that I'm in, the Pledge of Allegiance scene, I always watch that, and it's that scene, funnily enough, like, for me, is, like, the strangest to watch myself in, because it's, like, the first time you see Beetle, and I'm like, "Ew, like, what am I saying?" But, like, that's how you're supposed to feel, you know? So that kinda airs to that whole ego death thing I was kinda talking about, because it's like, I almost forget what it was like to be that almost in that moment, because now I'm not Beetle, I'm Pete, you know? So that and in terms of there was something you said earlier, about the bedroom scene between, Tom and myself, or Pam and Beetle, um, where it's 2 people honest conversation. JR, you were saying this too, just an honest conversation, 2 people talking about shit, and they've been there through for each other for better or worse, for a very long time, and, you know, I feel like that scene, while it's like a tough scene, that seems almost like a love letter to the bond that I have with Tom outside of this, because in real life, I've known Tom for a very long time, and I've performed with Tom quite a few times, and Tom has been there for me through, like, those difficult things, so a scene like that feels so natural when you're working with I mean, not only does it speak to the talent of the guy, because he's wildly talented, but it also speaks to the compassion he's had for me in my life and the compassion I have for him, and that I watched that scene, I'm like, I feel like we're just talking to each other, you know? I mean,
Yeah.
and that's what it is at the end of the day, right? That's what acting is, but, like, I feel like that would be my favorite scene because it's just two guys talking, and I love it. Um, but yeah, I just wanna add that little tidbit 'cause, I love Tom, he's an amazing actor.
Now, but what I want to do real quick before we go, um, is I want Pete to kind of Peter. Can I say Pete or Peter?
You can say whatever.
Pete. We're gonna go with Pete. Uh, but what I do, everybody in the family right now, we familiar with Jr. Sid, but
Yeah.
so familiar with Pete here. But I want to take a few minutes, Pete, and just kind of like, how'd you get into it? Where you from? Type stuff, man. Just take the floor for a little while and
Sure,
just introduce
so
yourself. Introduce yourself to the family.
what's up, family? I'm Pete Konsevitch. So where I grew up on Long Island, same as Sid. I was born in a town called Smithtown, and then I lived most of my life in Bohemia, which is another town on Long Island, and now I'm in Farmingville, which is yet another town on Long Island. We have how many towns? I don't even know. We got a lot. How'd I get into it? I mean, you know, it's funny. I've always, anytime I say like, "Oh, I really got into acting because of Spider-Man," and Spider-Man is the first film I have probably in memory. But it's really The Breakfast Club, that made me wanna become an actor. I was 5 years old, I think, when I saw that movie for the first time. Obviously, it had been out, like, about 20 years.
I get
But I
it.
was 5
I
years
get
old
it.
when I
I'm
saw
old.
it.
You're young. We get it.
Um,
I get it.
and just fell in I fell in love with, like, the concept of different people in a room together, all different archetypes, and, I mean, Breakfast Club is probably, in terms of, like, social archetypes, it's probably one of the most, like, universal, films, like, the message and the people and I said to myself, "That's so interesting." Like, you know, I wanna do that when I grow. That's pretty cool. And, Ally Sheedy was my first crush ever. I loved her, and that's when I fell in love with goth chicks too when I was 5. And, I fell in love with her, and I got to have her as a professor, actually, when I went off to university when I was older. And I told her straight up, I walked into that class first day because it was an audition for a class, so you had to, like,
You
you
had
know
her as a professor? What?
Ally
She was
Sheedy? I never told you
What?
this? Yes.
The
she was
girl
your
from The
teacher?
Breakfast Club?
Yes.
Holy shit.
Yeah. And she is every bit as lovely as she is on screen, she is in person. She is a fantastic human being. But that was like one of the first things I said to her because I was so proud of myself for getting into the class. So then it was one of those things where it's like, well, I gotta tell her. If I'm in this class, I gotta tell her. And I said it in front of everybody. I was like, I just want to tell you, when I was 5 years old, I was completely in love with you. I was like infatuated. And she laughed and she thanked me, of course. She's probably like, all right, shut the fuck up. I'm with the class.
Hey,
But
you got every
no,
hey,
yeah, breakfast.
you miss every shot you don't take, buddy. You got to take them all.
That's what I'm saying. But oh yeah, I mean that's where Breakfast Club is sort of kind of where it started for me. And then I probably started doing theater around the time I was like 11 years old. It was in 6th grade. And I was kind of limited almost to like doing school shows and stuff because I didn't know as a kid. Because I mean, if no one tells you when you're a kid, you don't know. I didn't know the concept of having like you could do acting outside of like I didn't know that, so like I thought it was either what I watch on TV and Broadway. I didn't know that everybody gets a chance to do this kind of thing, and wasn't until I got into high school I found out about local theaters and stuff. So then I would do that, and I went out to college and did my thing. And then there was this period, COVID happened, and of course everybody had a difficult time during COVID, and it was very tragic and yada yada. We won't get into it, but kind of coming out of COVID because no one could really perform for a long time for like a year and a half, almost 2 years. Things were shut down, and I like largely kind of gave up on it in ways like my pursuit of it. I didn't feel the passion anymore or the love for it, and I didn't really stop doing theater as much. And at that point I hadn't really even done film or experienced working on film, even though that was what I wanted to get to one day. um, and I was in the midst of doing this short film that I didn't really enjoy, and that's where I met JR. He didn't create the movie because he makes gold, but he was a part of
I was just
this like
helping out.
48-hour film
Helping out.
festival thing. He was just helping out. Yes, yes. I'm not going to put that movie on his plate. But that's where I met JR, and he had told me about the first one, Edge X. And he sounded so fucking passionate. And like one of our first conversations, we were talking about Succession and all this stuff. And in ways, and it's funny because like when you think of the concept of being inspired by people, I think in a general sense, you think of someone who's older than yourself. Like we all have our idols and heroes, but honestly, in a lot of ways, I look up to Sid, JR. I look up to JR, and that conversation, that first meeting between two people, and that conversation about, hey, come do this film, really like pulled me out of a years long funk post COVID, and it got me to this point where I love film. I still love theater, but I'm so focused on film and creating art. I want to continue creating art with JR and for myself, and I wouldn't change a damn thing about the spot I'm in now. And I'm glad that I met a guy like JR that could help get me out of that funk and to appreciate the art again. Because it's you work your whole life for something, you're gonna give up, and that's where I was. And you mess with the bull, you get the horns. Um, but yeah, I right now, trying to think of other things. So other than, we're trying to put Pam out there, and we are successfully. Hoorah. And we have the festivals going on. We have some pop-up screenings going on. Hopefully getting to work on the next one soon. I won't say anything further about that. I also got an agent recently, which was cool. Because I've been waiting a long time for that too. So yeah, thank you. um, so that's cool because a lot of, the early journey, I feel like as an artist, as an actor, as a director, as a writer, as a producer, whatever, you got to find your way. You got to meet people and all that. And I want to make a career out of this thing. I don't want to work at Enterprise Rent-A-Car the rest of my life, God forbid. So I don't want that to be I want acting to be the main income and the supplemental income, so I think having that security is nice now because now I have someone that's also going to have like my best interests in heart. And yeah, that's pretty much it about the journey. I got my record player over there. I'm a big vinyl collector. I got a bunch of records right now. I'm sitting on about maybe probably like 65 and growing. Yeah, that's about it. I'm a big music guy.
Oh yeah, I got a record player myself. Yeah,
Nice.
yeah. I enjoy just old school. Like for me, if I could get my hands on an 8-track player, an old 8-track player or record player, I'm a huge fan. You know, I grew up with my dad had an old 8-track in his car,
Nice.
and I
What
like
are
it.
your like some of your favorite bands to spin on the record player?
Uh, there's only one that I play, only one, and
Really?
I am a diehard Creedence Clearwater Revival guy,
Oh my god, yeah.
and that
I knew you were gonna say something so valid, yeah.
yeah, and
100%.
that is like my I grew up. I had told this story before, but growing up, my dad had this little orange gremlin car, like almost kind of looked like the shit from fucking uh I don't remember the name of the movie. Either way, but he had his little orange gremlin car, and he would take me to this lady that used to babysit me. And when I'm talking like pretty young, I was before like school age, and I just remember him taking me to this lady's house. And I remember every morning I would be in the car, and my dad had this old 8-track he'd put in there, and it was Creedence Clearwater Revival. And there's just one song that played on it that I could, to this day, I don't know why that song through my whole life, it just stuck with me. But this one song, this one 8-track, and I actually own the actual vinyl record of that album, and I
Yeah.
own the actual 8-track
Oh, it's awesome.
with that song on it, you know, and I just remember that song, and I have been a Creedence fan. And so, yeah, when I listen, 90% of the time I'm listening to me when I go to the gym, you know, I'm an old like 70s type stuff, and just if like CCR all day.
Oh yeah, man. John Fogerty is one of the coolest dudes in rock and roll.
Yep, I love it. But yeah, but what you were saying about Sid a second ago, like I remember when I first had him on and I talked to him, and I was like blown away with the fact that this kid's so fucking young. And I remember sitting there and I'm talking to him, and it's like, you've got your shit way more together than I did at fucking that young of an age. And it's like when he talks about things, uh, like there's certain times when I talk to him, I feel like I need to get a dictionary out, and he says some words sometime. I'm like, I don't even know what the fuck he's saying, but I'm
He
just
is a
going,
smart motherfucker, ain't
yeah,
he?
I'm just gonna nod because I don't want to look stupid on my own show, but I'm just gonna nod, you know. But yeah, he is. Hey, super, like, just so you can tell he cares about what he's doing so fucking much. And every time I would talk to him, and I remember the first time I think I told my wife after I interviewed him, I was like, man, you would think I was talking to somebody like way above their age as far as just way they you talked and the way you carried yourself and stuff like that.
Thank
And you
you.
can see it in the movies you make. Like Beautiful Pam is that's a lot going on in that movie, a whole lot of stuff. That old saying I hear, that's a whole lot to unpack. You know, I hear that on talk shows and shit sometimes. And and and
Yeah.
and for me, I'm trying to, as I'm watching it, I'm thinking a few things as I'm watching the movie. I'm thinking, when I was your age, I'm
Yeah.
thinking like, what type of shit did I think about? What did I enjoy? What did I do? You
Yeah.
know, and it was just kind of like, uh, PlayStation and racing. You know, it was just, you know, and then I'm just like, it's crazy to me, you know, when I see the movies you make, the writing you can do, the creativity that you have, and it's, you know, like I said, you deserve every bit of credit. Every one of you that are part of Beautiful Pam, you know, deserve everything that's coming your way, 'cause it's, to me, it was just a fucking awesome movie, you
Thank you
I
know?
so
wanna
much.
add one small thing, to that sentiment just because I love this kid, but, you know, I think not only does the type of person that JR is reflect in his art because it is so passionate and understanding of the human condition, I think JR is someone who treats the people around him very, very well. This is one of the most respectful, genuine, caring, compassionate guys you can know. And the way he treated all of us on set was nothing short of kind. And I think that also reflects in ways in the film too, like amongst the actors. You could tell that they were working with someone they were happy to work with, and not only were we excited to work with each other, but this was a environment that was really fostered to care for us. And I think on top of being a beautiful artist, JR is just a beautiful human being in general, man.
Thanks, Pete.
Yeah, and I pick up
Gotcha,
on
brother.
that. I pick up on that, like, very respectful and stuff like that. And it would be like you said, I would love to be able to hang out with you. And just
Come to New York, man.
I would feel I would feel like the old grandpa in the room.
It's all
That's
right.
okay. Tom hangs out with
Yeah,
us
Tom's like
sometimes. He's
70 and
ancient.
he hangs out with us.
Oh, okay, we're good then. We're good.
Well, thank you so much, Jay. I mean, it was, and thank you, Peter, as well, for your kind words. But thank you, Jay, for having us, and I mean, we always love coming on here to talk about stuff, and I'm excited for our next conversation. We're grateful to have the opportunity to talk to your audience, to talk to you, and to continue to get the film out there. And we really appreciate you, man. So thank you.
Hey, is there anything kind of like in the shoot? You got something kind of lined up, like something like on deck?
Yeah, JR, is there?
We're
You ain't got
always
if you
working
can
on
just tell me to fuck off if you want to. It's all good.
We're,
Nah, I'm
listen,
busting his chops. He knows why I'm laughing.
I think there's always things on the horizon that we're working on, and there's always stories to tell, and we're really excited for what's ahead, definitely.
I want to see. Can I put a request in and just have you do one for me? Like, do a movie for me, dude. It's just not, it's easy. Apparently, it's easy.
Yeah, there's this movie from the late '70s called "Killing of a Chinese Bookie," which some might be a little unfamiliar with. Maybe a more popular title, Taxi Driver.
Mhm.
So, it's sort of in the same vein as those movies.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to whatever you got coming, brother.
Thanks,
I
man.
know it's gonna be. It's gonna be different.
Thank you. I appreciate
And I
it.
like the fact that like it's different. I like that.
Yeah, I'm always looking to come from a personal perspective on my stories, and especially in this case, it will be much different, but it will retain some of the same qualities that people have really resonated with across the few films I've done. So
That's
it's exciting.
That's one of the things I mentioned. I was talking to my wife about you earlier today, and that's one of the things that I told her about you. And I was talking to her about the work that you do, and I told her, I was like, this. I call you a kid when I talk to her. I told her, I was like, this kid gets it. I was like, he's and
Thank you.
and for me, because trust me, I did 20 years in the Army. I supervised a bunch of 18, 19-year-olds straight off of just come straight off of mama's titty and then joined the military.
Yeah.
I seen them and I dealt with them. And trust me, yeah. And so when I told my wife, I was like, this kid gets it. And and I'm not calling you kids being disrespectful. At me as being, I turned 50 in August, so I'm about to be 50. So I'm like, for me, it's a thing. But yeah, super talented man, and I'm looking forward to whatever you got coming next. And whatever it is, I'm in for it.
Thank you.
And like I said, you all got a seat at the table anytime, man. You come on here and whatever you got coming up, whatever y'all want to talk about. It's my show. I can do what the fuck I want around here.
Oh yeah.
That's nobody. As soon as this is over, nobody's gonna pull me into the side and be like, "Why did you do that?" That's the
100%.
that's the cool thing. Is like I get to do whatever I want here, and so yeah, I appreciate you both, man, for coming on here and taking some
Appreciate you
time.
too, sir.
Yeah, man.
Hey, y'all were both, like I
Back.
said, awesome in the movie. Everybody in the movie was fucking awesome. Everything about it. And hell yeah, go watch it, people. I told you earlier, family, it's fucking free on YouTube.
Yes, it is.
Everybody's got YouTube. There ain't a fucking soul out there right
Yep.
now if you
Comes
listening to
installed on the
this.
phone too when you get a new phone. So
Yeah. You got, and speaking of, you said that about a phone, it made me think of something that I thought of as I'm watching the movie. It was funny to me. I say funny, but because my mind's fucked up, I said it's funny. But there's a part where he's in his room and Pam's in the room and she's got her little microwavable bowl and sitting there, and you tell her like a beer bottle on the table, and stuff
I
like
did
that.
that personally. I decorated that whole nightstand myself.
Hey, you nailed it, brother. You nailed it. Everything
I
about
just
it.
looked at my bedroom. I looked at the nightstand in my bedroom, and I just copied that.
Hey,
So.
nailed it. But I was thinking to myself, I was like, you know, poor Pam. Here she is in this run run down, no-tell motel type spot, eating
Yeah.
some fucking ramens out of the microwave, living pretty rough life right now. But
Yeah.
luckily, Pam was able to reach over and pick up that $1,400 iPhone and and do whatever she needed to do.
You see her phone a couple times throughout the movie. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
listen, everyone's got a phone plan now, so it's
Hey,
all
no,
good.
it's all good. It's all good. I like that shit.
Yeah.
Gotta stay up on the gram, no matter how
Oh,
rough
yeah.
life gets.
Oh,
A
yeah.
fucking gram.
Everyone's on the ground.
Nah, man, but hey, the movie was fucking awesome, dude, and just everything about it was just you are in my mind when beyond your years,
Thank you.
and you're going places, kid.
I don't think about that stuff, but I appreciate it. It's very kind. Thank you.
Yep, and Peter, brother, I'm a fan, man. I am a fan. I've
I'm a
seen.
fan of you.
This
Hey,
guy's
and like
great.
I
This
said,
Peter guy is very good.
whatever you got coming up, hey, I am there for it, brother. And
I'll let you know, brother.
yep, and like I said, family, you all know what to do. Go show your love, show support. We fucking love independence around here.
Thank you.
Go watch the damn movie.
We love
Like
Fright
it,
Flick.
share it.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and it's an hour of your day, people. Shit,
Yeah.
I
Check
put
it
that.
out, people.
I watched it the first time at the gym on my bicycle.
Wow. That's great.
That's how I got it in the very first
Uh,
time was at the gym. I was doing my little trip, my little cardio at the gym,
mm.
and I put it on. It's gonna be an hour. I was like, shit, I'm gonna do an hour of this bike today. I didn't go too hard. I kept that shit on like a 4, but
Yeah, that's
I
okay.
was cruising as I was watching Pam, you know. But I was like, and it was an hour. And like I said, you will not be disappointed. I know I watch a lot of fucked up shit, and I talk about a lot of fucked up shit on this show. And so everything's usually blood, guts, tits, ass, gore. And I get it. This is not one of those movies, family. This is one of those movies that it's like, my mama would be proud of me for watching a movie like this because it's like a grown-up type movie. She'd be like, you know what? You're figuring my mom would be like, "You're figuring some shit out. Good job." Because you're watching grown-up stuff. Now, this is that type of like grown-up, deep. I said it was deep. I said this kind of deep movie where a whole lot of stuff. You got to watch it more. You're gonna watch it more than one time
Mhm,
because you're gonna miss some stuff. You know,
mhm.
you're gonna want to go back and pick up on the each character is something different about them. When I watched it different times.
Yeah,
Beetle's different. You picked up on Beetle's kind of funny, but then you figure on the fact that Beetle's an asshole. Then you pick up on the fact, well, Beetle had a pretty rough life, you know.
yeah.
And that's I didn't pick that the first time.
Mhm.
After I watched it a couple more times, and so each character you just pick up a little more about them. But everybody fucking knocked it out of the park. Just
Yes,
knocked it
sir.
out of the park. Fucking awesome, Jr. You fucking killed it.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you
Hey,
so much for having us.
yep. Hey, any social media, anything you want to put out?
You
Website, social media, whatever y'all want to put, this is have at it.
You can follow my Instagram and Facebook as well, JR Stokes at Sid Cinematics. Same thing with YouTube at Sid Cinematics, SIDS Cinematics. The movie Beautiful Pam is available for free on YouTube, and you can also review it on Letterboxd.
And then you should follow me too at Peter_Konsevitch. There you go.
Fuck yeah.
He's on Facebook too.
No, don't friend me on Facebook.
So I'm not going to put your friend request link in the description. I'll leave it.
No, you can friend me on Facebook though, Jay. That's all good.
All right, brother. Hey, man, I appreciate both of you. And hey, family, it's that time of the episode. You all know what to do. I need you all to reach over. I need you to gather up all your shit. I need you to go put y'all's chairs away, grab your drinks, grab your smokes, and I need y'all to get the fuck out of here.
What's your favorite scary movie?
We have such sights to show you.
Ha! Monsters!
All you have left is my desire.
My name is Frankenstein!
It's a waste of good suffering.
See this? This is my boomstick!
I ate his liver with some fava beans. Nice community. It's nice.
They're coming to get you, Barbara.
It's alive! It's alive!
Here's Johnny. I'm not gonna hurt you. I'm just gonna bash your brains.
There are certain rules that one must abide by in order to successfully survive a horror movie.